afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane. Featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Semois. Yes, indeed, Semois. We shall be watching Friedhelmwinter fighting for the United States for the 5th Infantry Division going up against Wilhelmwinter of the Wehrmacht of the 2nd Panzer Division, with the 2 pioneers still going in here from Wilhelm, whereas Friedhelm, what a curious name, these pairing up, but he shall be fighting, well, also with the 2 engineer starts. So in that sense, very much Borg standard play, nothing out of the unusual there, nothing that makes us go, well, this is a bit frightfully curious, this is out of the usual. Clearly we should have these people sent away. No, and of course we wouldn't do that, but I imagine some would. Anyway, it's a bit of a spread out here. In fact, they largely seem to be mirroring each other's actions so far, heading for the munitions, heading for the fuel. Nothing again out of the ordinary, pretty much standard stuff. Volksgrenadier squad out here for Wilhelm. Die Volksgrenadiere marching along the road. There's Rifleman popping out here for Friedhelm. So far, so good. We'll of course see how long they will keep mirroring each other's actions and how long they will be until they begin trying to kill each other with vigorous efforts. And looks like already here we are seeing the first deviation. We are seeing Wilhelm actually wiring off this area again. It can pay off at times. Other times, of course, you'll just get some engineers going up then. Oh look, barbed wire. Would be terrible if it had something like a barbed wire cutter. Oh wait, I do. Snap. There you go. Of course, in Company of Heroes 2, you will actually need to upgrade with it, but then it also gives you the minesweeper, so slightly less of a thing. And of course, initially, in fact, in Company of Heroes, you actually also had to upgrade the wire cutters there, but trouble was wire was a bit too effective in Company of Heroes, and so they rather had to add it in as standard, because otherwise people would just wire off, and people would be like, but I can't get through the wire! Curse you, Relic! And then Relic had that, okay, well, fair enough. We might have slightly bollocksed up there. We do see some engineers sneaking up there. 2 Volksgrenadier squads out, and more riflemen out here for Friedhelm. Friedhelmwinter. Always mocked in school for having been sounding slightly German. And for lacking the Führer, for some strange reason. And as we do see a swift retreat here, in this case, he probably saw all the stuff going on in the tactical map and rather realized, by Jove, there might be Huns there. I'd best retreat, of course. Again, Friedhelm being, you know, the odd one out, and the American army, of course, talks with a British accent, but still, you get the point. He rather deduced by, again, noticing what was going on the minimap, possibly the tactical map, that again, there was an awful lot of capturing going on in that area. His engineers would probably face a sound beating if he tried to continue there, and apparently putting barbed wire down into the river itself. Yes, these Americans, they can swim. So of course they will only swim for a little bit, not too far. Damn Americans and their swimmers. Next they'll have dogs they can have sent out to swim. Yeah, damn dogs. Anyways, MG bit here. Close act getting caught off guard by Friedhelm's rifle right there, but apparently Friedhelm does not pursue with vigorous and murderous intent, instead allowing the MG42 to reposition. The riflemen do pull back, having realized their mistake. Pioneers are getting spotted by another rifleman squad. Fighting does now rather seem to go off well. And ooh, rifleman goes down here, left in the middle of everything. Poor Joe, bleeding out, clutching his stomach. Dentist from Tucson, now a corpse. And an MG42 on the way. Second, already a bike. So right here, 2 folks, there's 2 MGs a bike. So more aggressive play here by Wilhelm, but at the same time can also be used defensively. It's a more generalist, more flexible approach we are seeing here from Wilhelm. Not focused towards something, but can handle numerous situations. Thus, you know, reasonably buoyant, I would suppose you'd call this, with a bike being able to help spot any vicious American plots to flank them and do nasty things in the flank. Stop looking at the camera, for heaven's sake. But right from here, we do see that Friedhelmwinter is taking up a slightly passive posture. Looks like he's lining up there for an assault. Full City coming under fire, rather revealing parts of the assault. We do also see he's actually gone for the weapon support center. A bit unusual. In fact, he's getting a 30 caliber machine gun, water-cooled Browning. Ready to lay down the vicious fire of the United States upon those damn sneaky krauts. Looks like we are in fact seeing a move up here. Pioneers running into a flamethrower, getting burned, getting cooked. And there we go, opening up on the forces there, taking up position in heavy cover. The MG's in a heavy cover. They are another MG up in the church. They're firing down upon the other MG. Oh, they're firing upon the rifle, flanking about here. And flamethrowers inside the building next to the church, burning the MG inside it. Pouring fire and burning the tapestries, burning all the pretty stained glass windows. False grenades are going down to the 30 caliber going down to the MG perhaps. Bit hard to tell who's dying at the current moment right there. And there we go, Ruffin getting suppressed, but the 30 caliber keeps firing. The water-cooled machine gun is not to be stopped. And there we go, the MG in fact gets pushed out. The False getting out of cover. And the MG just tears through them, suppressing even some of the False Grenadiers. There we go, nice use of the MG offensively, ensuring that if the defenders leave cover, they get suppressed. And there we go, 4 kills so far. False Grenadiers and Pioneers on the run. Although we do see that Wilhelm has mines, so there were a few American casualties right there. It looks like someone may or may not have died up there, but looks like they all made it out of there reasonably safe. No, looks not. Looks like there's one dead engineer squad, so most likely up there someone died a tragic, horrific death all alone, separated from their comrades. They were viciously gunned down. Oh, the agony. Bike rolling about. With 3 kills, that could very much have been that which ended the lives of the engineers. And a sniper on the way. Interesting move right here. Looks like he is investing further into his tier 1. Might be have some other plans, but then we do see a supply going up here for Friedhelm, who's now setting up the MG in the church. We also see that the mortar has been brought in, so supporting his infantry with support weapons. Novel play for an American, novel play. Rare nowadays. Going there for the cut-off point. So far the American is certainly dominating most of the map. Mortar could definitely prove to be a problem. Cafe is hit. A bit of mortar firing going on here on the False Grenadiers. Mortar get exposed, but again there's the MG in the church. Could stop the False Grenadiers from advancing too far without suffering the murderous fire of the 30 caliber. Motor pool going up here for Friedhelm. And looks like Wilhelm is going straight for the Sturm Armory, having seen of course the upgrades, or more specifically the weapon support center bits there. He is probably surmising that he can get away with it without getting immediately punched down by an armored car. So of course, again, reading your opponent, figuring out what can he do and what can't he do under those circumstances, and then making decisions based upon that. In this case, the decision from Wilhelm is to basically go on for the Sturm Armory and get what he needs there. But at the same time, his timing is perhaps a bit too slow, since we also see that Friedhelm is actually quickly moving towards an armoured car, likely because again he's actually able to hold most of the map. Would have been nice though if Friedhelm had actually mined the town somehow, which would have made it more difficult and painful for the Wehrmacht to advance into town. But those are just some of my thoughts and considerations. There we go, the Sturm Armory is going up for the 2nd Panzer Division. MG set up here, nicely covering. False Grenadiers moving up. Rifle hiding, 30 caliber moving up. World War I weapon, by the way. Water cooled, like many other World War I machine guns. Air cooling only came about later. And even then, of course, it had its slight disadvantages. Again, it was a bit harder to keep the gun cool like that. And of course the Germans decided, well, we might as well work with that, with the MG-42, and just basically make it easier to replace the barrel then. Since it would then, of course, result in those getting warped quite a bit. But armor car running up, forcing away. The MG-42 crew sniper and first gunners nearby. MG crew member dead. Mortar, of course, supporting the advance. Good use of that. Rifleman, 30 caliber, everything else moving up. Armor car taking a bit heavy fire. Mortar run going in, close to getting actually someone killed. Cafe continues to take most of the fire, most likely leaving some cafe owner very much cross and upset with those Americans supposed to liberate them, instead bombs them. And artillery going in here. Infantry destruction thus has been revealed for Friedhelm, but at the same time the question becomes, did he actually achieve anything with those 150 munitions, and would mines in the town not have served the purpose better? At least that would be my thoughts on the matter. We do see a ground up. Of course, the question is, how will Wilhelm react to this? Of course, he could get an armored car upgrade to a Puma, but he could also get a Stug. He could also go Blitzkrieg and get some Stormtroopers with the Panzerschreck. So there are several options right here for Wilhelm to pursue in his fight against the Greyhound. We do see some BARs going up here for the rifle. Of course, an anti-tank gun might also be an idea, because at the same time, as much as Wilhelm is figuring out what Friedhelm is doing, so Friedhelm should also be noticing what his opponent is getting, what he's not getting, and probably expecting either a Sturm Army or a Panzer Command at this stage. Which definitely begs that he probably also gets a Browning automatic, or something incredibly similar. Also note, he's actually laying down sandbags to create fortified positions for his support weapons. Nice to see that, a bit rare, but also makes it harder for the Germans, for example, to advance up here. And also note here, of course, also makes it harder just to rush the mortars. So, interesting. Not very often I see that at all, to be honest. It's actually a bit unsure how to sort of fully grade it. And there we go. The Puma. Upgraded version of the heavy armored car, 50mm gun. Pretty much the same strength as the Panzer III. Was taken from the Leopard reconnaissance tank actually, but that was scrapped, and thus the gun here ended up on the Puma. At the same time, Volkswagen Squad sneaks up here, and we do see a Sturmgeschützsphere. About a little over 1,000 of those were made throughout the war, I believe. Didn't quite ever achieve the same number of upgrades as the Stu 3D, and in some senses could be seen as the lesser variant. But there we go, Greyhound moving in, a bit of harassment right here on the Volksgrenadiers, and we do see the Puma is ready to react, and we do see a Panzerfaust going off on the Greyhound already there. Puma moves in behind the Greyhound, come on, hit Heinz, and there we go, gets the gun away with a 50mm round. Leaving him a bit there on the engine deck before he gets completely shoved off. We need more speed. Get rid of Carl. Alright. Stug also moving in. Greyhound continues to suffer vigorously. Rifle moving in to intercept, but there is a lack of anti-tank assets, a lack of mines to slow down any speeding in invaders. Stug following up. Rather risky move right there by Wilhelm, but apparently it so far works off. Quite surprisingly. Puma on the move, and oh no! Mine goes off, destroying it, crashing it into the cafe. And Stug drives past, crashes the wreckage, and gets back to save lines. That was a bit of a... could easily have gone wrong. If Friedhelm had sticky bombs or more mines, that could very much have gone wrong for not only the Puma, but the Stug. So that was an incredibly risky move right there, and it's not very advisable, to be honest. MG-42, there's a press the rifleman, pushing up here on several angles. That is good, although we do see some mines down from him. Artillery going on down the Stug again. I think Friedhelm might be slightly too trigger happy with his artillery. Although he might be close to getting the Stug. No, not quite. Instead, just blowing up some fences. Damn Kraut fences. Not like our American white picket fences. But they are French, sir. Shut up. Or you're a damn Kraut as well. These Volksgrenadiers might want to consider retreating, though, in the face of this. bloody close and constantly setting off the mine. You know, I have a bad sense of impending doom right here. We probably should be very careful about staying about. And there we go. Heavy losses. They had gone well for so far, and then poor Conrad stepped a bit besides.
I've seen enough killing the last B-10
Anti-tank on the move, about bleeding damn time. Bike rolling out. Nebelwerfer being pushed forwards as well. Push, Heinz, push! We don't have anything to pulse this with. There we go, the 30 caliber actually getting bombarded. Thus being rushed off, a bit of a shame. Cafe catches on fire now. I cannot imagine René being very pleased about that. Ratman moving up to the fortified position on the cemetery. Coming a bit under fire here, but managed to get largely there safely. Pulls out, having suffered severe and grievous damage from the American anti-tank gun. We also see something being upgraded with veterancy, apparently the armored car so far. Friedhelm, though, continues to dominate the map quite nicely. He's still holding most of the map. He continues to harass, he continues to deliver some damage. Wilhelm's force configuration so far, with a bit of lack of infantry, does make it a bit hard for him to push forwards, but he's calling in a lot more armor, vehicles, and support weapons, so that way he should be able to push forwards. Sniper, of course, not doing so much, actually. He's been rather passive. A bit timid, that fellow. Armor car quickly shifting up there, getting the engineers and rushing those off. Damn hiccups. Who's the boogeyman? Not you. And there we go, Volkswagen set off a mine, and oh, bike went down to an anti-tank gun shot through the hole created by the artillery in the cemetery. Cheeky, cheeky. And another barrage from the Nebelwerfer, hoping to catch more Americans. The smallest of the Nebelwerfer rocket launches. That's not to say the smallest Nebelwerfers are actually preceding Nebelwerfers, but they were actually based on mortars. I believe was largely used by the airborne troops and such. More specialist units. Where the largest one, I think, of the Nebelwerfer mortars was about 10.5 centimeter. So a bit of fun there, but the Germans were quick to shift over to the rocket versions. With this one being the smallest, the largest one being about 280 to something around 300 millimeters. German sniper creeping forwards. Howitzers are going up here for Friedhelm to lay down some more murderous fire upon the Germans. Although the question is, perhaps he might want to go for the west side, go for some Rangers, or perhaps even a north map combat group, give him some more force to more directly and vigorously push forwards with. Ravnir coming under fire. Murderous intent delivered from the armored car. Very close to snipers actually going down. In particular, would have been a shame for the American sniper to go down before he's even killed someone. Looks like they're pushing forward again. Greyhound moving up. 30 caliber in the church. He could try and get off some armor piercing rounds on the armored car. And there you go. German sniper reels himself. Will the... Ooh! American sniper misses, but the artillery instead gets him. Oh dear, that's got to be a bit humiliating for a sniper. You failed to get the target, instead of the artillery gets your target. He shall be known as Larry, the bumbling sniper. And there we go, Larry gets spotted, and looks like Larry gets gutted. What a shame. 30 caliber firing rate doing a light amount of damage. And there we go, we do see that Wilhelm's forces conduct a safe retreat without getting sticky bombed or other nasty things. No further veterancy though for him. Besides a bit more recruiting the anti-tanker, and then a direct hit from the Needwerfer takes out the crew in a matter of seconds. That definitely could have been better for Friedhelm's anti-tank and crew, who are now a bit of a stew. And another German sniper immediately takes over where the first one went down. Will Friedhelm try and repeat the success with another barrage? Looks like it. Fulters here getting met with aggressive intent from American Riflemen up north. BARs and other fun things. Causing the Volksgrenadiers a bit of a problem right there. Oh, we do see armor cockpits putting up. Has not been repaired, so might be in a slight pickle if it's not too careful. Mortar round definitely does alright there against the Volksgrenadiers. MG moving up, sniper slightly pulling away. And the riflemen end up losing without sticky bombs. Again, why he hasn't gotten sticky bombs is actually a bit of a mystery. Another anti-tank gun being rolled forwards to the front line. I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation, it's a bit more, again, 50-50. Even split, more or less, except Wilhelm has slightly more territory than Friedhelm. And while Friedhelm was able to, again, dominate for a larger part, the problem was he then failed to, fully forge. I mean, there was some efforts with the sandbags, but there was no barbed wire, no tank traps, and there was a definite lack of mines, and even then he seemed to be only prepared, from being attacked from one angle. There was nothing saying, what might happen if I get flanked? Nothing. Why would the opponent flank? That's only for noobs. Real players attack only from one angle, like from a very narrow point, which allows you to create a kill zone. No. So, definitely should have considered mining that, and, now, of course, Wilhelm is dominating better, or at least getting a better grasp of the map through his slightly more vigorous and clever tactical moves, including flanking his opponent, which again forces Friedhelm's defense to spread out a bit more, making it easy again for Wilhelm to actually force a breakthrough. And again, what Friedhelm needs to do is lay down mines, sandbags, barbed wire, and a few tank traps. In particular, currently there's not much which Wilhelm has to could actually deal with tank traps. So that could definitely be a good move to make it much harder for Wilhelm to make any moves. Otherwise, Friedhelm might want to consider getting a tank depot, again working his way towards off-map combat groups. A medic station would also be a plus for Wilhelm. He needs to keep on pushing, but he also needs a bit more infantry so you can actually, when he makes the attack, actually retain some forces there, because the problem is he makes in, and then his infantry suffer too much to actually stay there without risking losing the entire squad. So he needs a bit more, to really get in there. And he also needs some veterancy too for at least his armor here. His Stug would definitely benefit from veterancy too. In fact, he's also getting another armored cast, so veterancy too would also not be far off for them. But another infantry squad and otherwise pushing in here, and again, some more pressure up here again, forcing Friedhelm to actually divert forces up to there. So again, plans, strategies, tactics. Always want to dilute your opponent's forces so you can destroy them in better detail, without suffering much yourself. So note here, a bit of barbed wire. Apparently Friedhelm is aware, of course there's a possibility that his opponent might rush for the howitzer and thus call in some nasty things. So he's mining, he's barbed wiring, he's going to make it difficult for Wilhelm to actually sneak in anything that could just quickly get the observation bit on the howitzer. So that's actually a nice move. Again, Needwerfer though causes severe problems for Friedhelm's support weapons, and again more artillery going in right around the victory point. Again another artillery barrage, and he just once more fields wasted, which is a bit of a shame. Heavy artillery going in there. And there we go. Volksgrenadiers recruiting the anti-tank and were quickly killed in a brutal series of explosions and shots. again, the artillery barrages that Friedhelm are firing at his opponent don't generally seem to be doing an awful lot. I mean, he's only killed one man with it, and now he's actually calling in some rangers, which again I think might have proved a bit better choice. Matten's tank depot in pursuing a more aggressive strategy. In particular, if you could get them upgraded. But then again, he's expending a lot of munitions towards artillery strikes, which don't do much. Again, why not again better things like mines? Second Stug has arrived, anti-tank and recruit. So there are now several anti-tank guns to take the fight to the crack foe. Pushing up here in the north. Bike running into a bit of trouble, quick getting knocked out. And an observation post. So clearly Wilhelm is going to escalate the fight even further with more fuel. And more nasty hits right now on the anti-tank gun, spurning out another crew. Who never really had a clue. Oh, there we go. Artillery actor getting the MG-42 directly. About bloody damn time. Rangers moving in. Need to be careful. They're moving into their own zone of artillery. That is generally considered a bad idea. Just want to note it that. A few pioneers sneaking in, hoping to get a bit of harassment. Instead, they get a bit of lead from a BAR, and no chocolate bar for them. And here's a good move from Wilhelm. He's actually shifting about his naval effort, although I think he could shift it a bit further around. He's staying a bit too close to the previous firing position. But, you know, to ensure, in case that Friedhelm actually decides to fire his house at the naval effort, his naval effort, then avoid the counter-artillery. So, nice move right there from Wilhelm. Very good counter-artillery tactic. And again, the most basic one, just keep moving about with your artillery. Going for the munitions up there. Lovely, lovely. Looks like he's lining up for an assault. Several Stugs prepared. Armored car. And veterans 2 on the way for the armor. That is very good there. Wilhelm. Armor cars moving up north. Rangers are going to move in, but they might find themselves a bit outgunned if they're not careful. And laying down active covering fire around the victory point with this mortar, ensuring that the opponent can't get too close without taking a few nasty hits. The Sugas are going off in the armoured car. And looks like one was actually lost. Or something else was perhaps the bike. The Sugas, oh damn it, engine the Rangers could finish off the armoured car. And there we go, fire up, rushing past the fences. Going to make a swing for it. Can they? Come on, lads. And there we go, armoured car went down. One went down to a sniper. Stu quickly moved out, but not soon enough. The armoured car is a wreck. But a dream. So a nice little kill there for Friedhelm, denying Wilhelm a vital bit of mobility and firepower. More Volksguns moving into the centre, 30 caliber, able to actually cover, and again alongside that mortar could create a bit of a kill zone there for any troops moving towards that victory point. Volksgrenadiers, no, they're moving in front of the 30 caliber, moving in front of it. But looks like they got a bit lucky, they were caught right between reloads and could actually run into the house before suffering the full murderous barrage. Niebler for firing up in support. Likely going to hit that mortar. Mortar opening up. So there you go. Volkswagen now forced to abandon. There we go. Mortar crew takes several hits from the Niebler for nearby anti-tank crew. And the mortar crew dies completely. Oh dear. And we're seeing terror doctrine. We're also seeing a small bike being sent south. Advancing up here. On the armoured car, and there we go. Assault guns moving up to support the infantry. Stugspear going to lay down the murderous barrage. Rather than getting a bit suppressed right there. Bike ready, and again, not quite aware of what's going to be waiting here for them. Nice hit there directly on the Stug, but failed to do any damage this time around. Cafe is still standing. Sturdy French architecture. Looks like the bike is on the move. But again, Friedhelm is actually prepared. And certainly this is not a bad idea, although note there's still a small gap here, so he might want to either, finish it off with mines, or wire, or mines. In this case, though, we do see the bike advancing. Of course, that's going to serve as a warning for Wilhelm that he can't move down through this way. But still, destroyed a bike. Basically wasted some manpower right there for Wilhelm. Good move. Has he actually mined this approach? Yes, indeed he has. So again, for the larger part, Friedhelm has actually ensured that his opponent can't rush straight here for the howitzer, knocking out with a V1 or rocket barrage or anything else like that. But there is a slight gap in the defenses right here. Right here, someone could in theory sneak through. So he needs to probably wire it off or mine it. And for that matter, of course, an armored car could just rush through here. So again, mines here would also, I think, be the final step of the way. Forces are coming under fire from the 30 caliber, getting suppressed. Other forces squad going to flank up, going to counter rifle instead. And veterans, you want for the 30 caliber. At the same time, we see a small northern offensive. We see a tank destroyer, but it actually goes down. Oh dear, it was not properly supported. He actually sent in a very small force towards the north. And he must have known that more of Wilhelm's forces were slightly more held back up here. So it's a bit odd why he only sent in one tank destroyer when he knew it likely would encounter the two Stugs, which would be doom. So that was slightly unfortunate, and he could also support it with at least an anti-tank gun. And again, another mistake. He's not, considering the possibility again that Wilhelm might attack from this area. Again, there are no mines there. And in some ways, his mining is good. In other ways, it's a bit spotty. But there we go. We do see again another attempt at getting that howitzer assaults in mine. And he's actually trying to, further force it into mines. He wants to ensure it can't be dodged. And there we go. Bike moving in. Veterans, in fact, he's making the bike tougher. But note here, there we go. The gap, the bike crew. Schnell, Heinz. Schnell. And there we go. V1 rocket called in. But the bike will die in the process, but nonetheless, V1 rocket has been called in. Tank destroyer rolling past the area. Will it survive? And there we go. Tria sender down, supplier down, howitzer down. Weapons support center almost down. An absolutely crushing blow right there to Friedhelm. If only he had also mined this area, he would have been safe. Instead, he's just been gutted. In particular, since his manpower just took a huge dive as well, due to the supply up being blown up. So a definite and considerable problem right there arriving for Friedhelm. He's of course not down and out of the game yet. Pioneer squad actually trying to salvage munitions, got wiped out by the mortar, and a firestorm going on the anti-tank gun. The other one seems to have been cleared out here by the armored car, and the anti-tank gun gets cleared out here by a firestorm, allowing Wilhelm to push forward to the Stug, and still doesn't look like... No, Friedhelm does have sticky bombs. He should have had those earlier, but still, now the assault has commenced. Damaged engine, immobilized Duke's armor coming in to support. And Friedhelm simply does not have a lot to react with. More sticky bombs getting thrown desperately on the Stugs. Mortar rounds continue to fall. Tribesmen hold on to dear life. Don't quite succeed. They're down to only one anti-tank gun since the other one has been wrecked by the incendiary rockets, melting the anti-tank gun with its high heat. And there we go, Stug down, but there's still one Stug left. We immediately see that infantry and pioneers are being rushed forwards to hold the front line after the armoured assault from Wilhelm's troops, or Truppen. Though less the Panzers, more the assault gun battalion has been dispatched. And normally would probably been one of the last engagements where the Panzer Divisions would have had their own organic assault gun battalions. They were later in 1944 removed, so assault gun battalions would have been, well, pretty much only the independent ones, and I suppose a few elite units would still have retained them. But otherwise they were pretty much lost. I think even the SS Panzer Division has lost theirs. There were simply not enough Stuks to go around. And never mind that manpower, so the independent assault gun battalions were prioritized, and of course they could be a bit more everywhere. We do see Friedhelm here committing to a larger assault from several angles, getting blasted in several angles. House here collapses utterly under a final need of a barrage.
What are my coordinates?
Swiftly recruiting the anti-tank, but also immediately coming under fire from the Stug, pushing it away, hoping to get beyond the range of the mighty Sturmgeschütz. And looks like it does. The M10 tank destroyer. Also, fun fact about the M10, the British actually converted it into a tank destroyer themselves, and will make it further one, by strapping on the 17-pounder anti-tank gun. They called it the Achilles. Rather nasty little thing. So yeah, the British were certainly fond of strapping the 17-pounder gun to a lot of things. And there we go, tank destroyer versus Sturmgeschütz. Stug here almost down to less than half. In fact, not almost, pretty much down to less than half health. The anti-tank guns keep up the pressing. Looks like Friedhelm is very much now depending on the off-map commander. Of course, he has the time, since he has, well, 400 victory points to make good off. The question is, can he actually mount the assault? And he's going to send in the tank destroyer. Oh, wait for the off-map combat, but wait! Wait! He's getting greedy! Greedy! And where on earth? Ah, he is calling it something. They're getting off a nice hit on the Stug. Almost wrecking it, in fact. And any engineer should be immediately sent in to repair that tank destroyer. There we go, off-map combat group. Tank destroyer, mortar, 30 caliber, and rifleman. Perhaps not quite what he had hoped for, but could still do something. Also note he's actually placed that one up there so he can protect his remaining victory point. Good move. Gutes Arbeit, Männer. Three Stugs, 2 armored cars, and only 2 tanks. One, he's sending them one at a time, which is definitely not paying off to Friedhelmwinter. And there we go. Looks like it could very quickly go down. And a firestorm called in by a sneaky sniper, sneaking behind the church. Threatening to remove... Oh, it got the tank destroyer! A rogue rocket knocked out the tank destroyer! And there we go, game over from Friedhelm. 2nd Panzer Division broke through the defense of the 5th Infantry Division despite their best efforts and won the fight. The problem largely coming down to a lack of mines and poor artillery work from Friedhelm, and again the apparent assumption that his opponent would not attack from here. Again, he was several times, he didn't even mine this area. Again, his mining was very spotty. I mean, the defense here for the howitzer was good, in fact, except for the small crack here in the defense. But again, otherwise, I mean, for example, he didn't bother mining this area at all. There was some good ideas, and then there were some really odd ones. So he needs to work on his mining, less spotty, more consistent again, also remembering that his opponent might, want to flank him. For Wilhelm, a medic bunker would have been better, and again, he needed a bit more infantry, otherwise I think he could also won this earlier. But there you go, interesting match. Hope you learned a thing or two. Hope it gave you some ideas. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying continue to watch the Propagandacast. Cheers.